Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the American Exceptionalist, and before I begin, I would like to ask you once again to please like, comment, and subscribe. We have seen incredible growth on this channel. I'm so happy. It means a lot to me to see all of the guys support me, subscribe, and like my videos, and give me all the support. It really does mean a lot. This is one of my favorite things to do when I have free time, and I do appreciate everything you've done. But yeah, I would also like to say I have a Twitter account. Go ahead and check it out. If you don't, that's fine. And I am doing a small YouTube short series where I go over every single potential presidential vice president pick that Donald Trump can go over. Go ahead and check it out. A lot of people say it's pretty interesting. That's all I'm going to say right now. Without further ado, let's get back into the main topic of the video, that being my House prediction. Now, I have some quote-unquote toss-up seats that, aren't actually toss-ups, like Iowa, for an example. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I have some seats as toss-up that I just want to warrant a discussion because they're interesting to talk about, and I feel like there does need to be some discussion around them, All right, but yeah. So with my current model, I have Republicans at 199 at the bare minimum, and Democrats at 179 at the bare minimum. Now, the House election is very interesting, and this relies a lot upon Donald Trump, honestly, and this relies upon the House's incompetence, because if the House was successful, this would be a clean sweep along with Donald Trump winning. Since I do have Trump winning, I do think Republicans have a good chance of taking back the House. I mean, keeping the House is certainly at a smaller percentage than I have of Republicans taking the Senate, and Trump, for that matter, winning. I think there is definitely a reality where we could see Donald Trump being elected president of the United States while simultaneously Democrats taking back control of the House. I would not be shocked personally if that happened, thanks to Enoch Mike's incompetence. However, let's just get straight into the predictions. So, I think this is first. Yeah, Iowa's first. And forgive me, I'm not as an expert on House as I am for Senate and presidential, so please give me a little courtesy. So yeah, I do think Iowa is gonna, vote these people in again. I think they're going to be likely margins, honestly. Maybe even safe, especially in this seat and potentially even this seat. It really does depend, though. So I'm just going to put the one on this side and safe because, they're both pretty Republican in a presidential year, with Trump being up by 18 points in Iowa. I think there's a lot of room for growth. And the only reason this one's at a lighter shade of red, or rather shade of pink, is simply because it has Des Moines and Cedar Rapids, I believe, in it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Which is why, I'm not going to give it as red as the other ones. In Montana, I think Ryan Zinke's seat is easily going to hold by a likely margin. I don't expect it to be that competitive, honestly, so I'm just going to move on from it. I do think Laura Barberton is going to win re-election, probably by a likely margin, or rather election. She did carpet bag to another district. She's a very controversial figure. I have a lot of Democrat people I know and friends who don't like her, and they're rooting for her downfall. And while I'm not really big on her, I don't think she's going to go down, and, I think it's going to be an interesting result. I do think Republicans are going to hold her former seat, though, but by a narrower margin. I don't expect Republicans to pick up the suburban Denver seat this election cycle, however. Which brings me down now to New Mexico, and I think this is going to be the first pickup. I do think the former Republican congresswoman that had the seat before the gerrymander came in narrow loss, I do think she's going to pick the seat up again narrowly. This is a presidential year. There is a lot of enthusiasm on the Republican side in the rural areas for Trump. I think she wins it along with Trump at the end of the day to win this congressional district. Now, Trump winning this district doesn't mean as much, but hey, it's a pickup is a pickup. Now, I do think in Arizona, Eli Crane is going to hold on to re-election. And, I don't think Arizona is going to change much in terms of congressional district. I do think this is a state that's going to be really hard for Joe Biden to win this coming November, which is a big reason that I think that there's not going to be much flip to the Democrats, other than possibly the Ruben Gallego winning the Senate seat, because Kari Lake is just that disastrous. I hate to say it. I rooted for Kari Lake when she ran for governor last time, but she's not running a good campaign. And I think in the 8th District, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the seat that Blake Masters is facing against Abe Hamadeh in. I think Blake Masters will win the primary as of now. I do intend to do more research because, I do give Blake Masters my personal endorsement and this channel's endorsement. However, I do tend to do more research down the data line to see who really is ahead in this race. Now, in terms of Nevada, I'm going to basically give both of these seats back to the Democrats again. And I do that dishearteningly because, quite frankly, it's just so gerrymandered in their favor that, yeah, these margins are thin, but they're still going to win at the end of the day. I don't know to what margin Trump's going to win the state. I'm very confident Trump wins Nevada, but I'm not sure he's going to take them across the picket line, which is, a little sad. All right, we're going to go to Washington. I do think Joe Kent is going to win this time around with President Trump on the ballot. I think it'll be a little better than his last performance. He'll get like 51, 52% of the vote. I don't think that the Republicans are going to pick up the seat above them. And, unfortunately, I do think they are going to lose the Portland, Oregon seat, given that this is a presidential year. And Oregon was pretty much more right-wing than it normally is. So, unfortunately, they do lose a seat. However, they circumvent that loss in the Northeast by picking up a seat with Joe Kent being elected to Congress. I do think every single suburban or Californian, Los Angeles, Californian in Congress that's a Republican, is gonna hold on to their seat. By what margin, I can't say. They're just great candidates. Michelle Steele, Mike Garcia. They're all great. Sorry. So that's why I think they're going to hold on at the end of the day, which, great result for Republicans is they are getting some momentum in California. It's the state that gave Trump the most votes at 6 million last time. 40% Republican, 60% Democrat the last 2022 cycle. I don't think it's going to flip anytime soon. I am going to give the Republicans this district again, and I'm going to hold these both districts for the Democrats, I think, or maybe one flips. I'm uncertain. Again, my area expertise is not the House. Alaska, I did mention this in a previous video. I think Mary Peltola is going down. Like her or not, think she's a cool moderate or not, I think she's going down in the presidential year. Alaska is a state that is trending heavy to the left and is, like I think, a potential swing state, and is in my head a swing state in many races such as this one. But I think for this election, it's going to swing back right a little bit and give Republicans a House seat for the foreseeable future. All right, the Rio Grande Valley Republicans did win. They didn't win all three seats. They won one newly drawn seat. I think Henry Cuellar, he hangs on, a little narrowly than last time. I think Republicans do pick up the district right here very narrowly, and Republicans will hold on to this. It was my mistake and my bad for not having that lit in again. So current model with West Coast done is 215 to 188 Republican to Democrat. So let's go back up here to Kansas. I think both of these seats, that was another accident by me, holds on safely for the Democrat. This woman here is very popular. And I think Bacon does hold on a single term. It's kind of an unpopular opinion, but I think, Biden being unpopular enough and this being Omaha with a suburban port, I think, I do genuinely think that Bacon holds on last time. All right, Minnesota. Unfortunately, I don't think Republicans will pick this off, even if Trump wins the state, I am applying my current presidential model to this. It's a very hard seat for Republicans to pick up. They haven't done it in like 8 or 10 years. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I do think the guy who's here, I think it's Van Moore or Van Dyke or something, he does hold on again. I do expect Trump to win the state. I don't know by what margin exactly. I can't pinpoint around. I'd say 1-3. I do think he does hold on at the end of the day. Another oopsie by me. St. Louis is easily going for the Democrats, guys. Forgive me. This seat is staying. Democrat versus foreseeable future. There were talks it was going to flip in 2022. It didn't really happen, which, is unfortunate. It is real unfortunate. Now, Louisiana and Alabama were both redrawn to be more favorable to the Democrats. I do think that one of the seats or both of the seats that were redrawn for the Democrats will be likely. I'm unsure and not confident in this time. However, I do think that'll be what it is at the end of the day. Now let's go up to Michigan. I do think Republicans will hold on with John James. It's pretty easy. He won the district by a pretty respectable margin in 2022. I do think at the end of the day they will pick up a district. I'm not sure if it's going to be the top one or the bottom one or even both. I'll just give them both for right now just because it seems the most likely outcome. Mike Rogers is not doing too bad in the polls against Elizabeth Stun, whatever her name is, Elise Steinfunk. Yeah. Now maybe I'm confused. Again, on my area expertise, please be a little merciful for me in the comments. I'm trying to learn. Okay. Let's see here. Ohio's 8th, I believe, or 12th. Yeah, I think Marcy Capito holds on again. She's just enshrined in the state, and I think the Democratic representative holds on here. Now, I would give this district normally to the Republicans, and I would give Marcy Capito's, but the results from the special election in this seat in particular were way too close for comfort. Now, I don't think that indicates a blue wave or a Biden overperformance or anything like that. I genuinely don't. I think that the results are being overstated or overly bloated, especially since we're seeing a lot of special elections that happen during primaries shift so heavy to the right, even with, reasonable Democratic turnout, like 5 points in Colorado, a lot in Minnesota, New Hampshire, but some offbeat election that happened at a random Tuesday in the middle of June. I don't necessarily think that's the best indicator for who's going to win the presidential race, but I am going to take that into account, so I'm going to give the Democrats this district just by a little bit, just as of now. Again, things could change. Again, in the Pittsburgh area, I don't expect Republicans to take the seat. I am going to give it to the Democrats. Again, it is what it is, which brings me to the other seats in Pennsylvania. I do believe that this is a Republican-held seat, so I'm pretty confident in the Republican chances in Pennsylvania. I think they are going to win the northeastern districts, and I do think, given how Scott Presler is doing so well in the voter registrations across this Bucks County and Chester, which, we can't be complacent. We got to get that out more and more and more. But as the RNC spends more money, more ads, more, I do think our chances in the suburbs of Philadelphia get better. So I'm going to give this to the Republicans as of now. I'm going to make some of these seats a little bit lighter, slightly pink. Again, that's an at-risk prediction for the Bucks County seat, but at the end of the day, I'm confident in it. Tom Kean Jr., yeah, he's going to hold on. I don't know by what margin. I do think the North Carolina seat does flip due to the, remapping in favor of Republicans, or whatever you'd like to call it. I just don't necessarily see it, staying Democrat in a presidential year. I am going to give the Democrats both of these districts, very narrowly, though. In fact, I'm going to lighten up that district right there. And this one, I do think there's not much potential for Republicans to win the statewide offices this time in Virginia. It's unfortunate. It is it's a blue state at the end of the day. We must remember that. I think if Youngkin's the VP, though, I might be changing Virginia to Tilt D or Tilt R, but we'll see what happens. You're going to have to stay tuned for my series that I talked about in the beginning. I think Republicans will pick up the state, this Congress district in Maryland this time. I just think it'll flip because John Thune retired, I believed. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he retired. I don't think he seek re-election because he did run for the Senate, which, I think this will give it, a tilt margin to the Republicans. All right. So there's not much room for growth in New York, honestly. I don't think Mike Lawyer is going to hold on. Unfortunately, that is a seat that's gone. I do think this middle of the, I think Buffalo it is. I think that's not Buffalo, actually. Again, sorry, I'm not an expert on the geography of, the Democratic states or the geography of the Congress map. So please forgive me, correct me if I'm wrong, because I do want to learn as well. All right. I think they'll hold on in this one, just how rural it is and how big it is. Not the most responsible prediction, honestly, I will admit, but, it's what I have at the end of the day. And, at the end of the day, I do think they are going to take back George Santos' seat very narrowly. It could go narrowly to the Democrats, but I don't expect it to at the end of the day. So I'm going to leave it as just tilt red. It is an at-risk prediction, I will admit. Moving to my last two seats, I'm very, very, very not confident about Republicans' chances in New Hampshire in their foreseeable future. I think this district's going to stay in the Democratic column, unfortunately. And I'm going to leave my. I think Jared Golden is going to hold on for the last time, maybe. He has one more after this, but this district is just trending incredibly right. Jared Golden is not with Biden. He's distancing himself in a very smart political maneuver, which, I got to give kudos to. I honestly do, because it's a very, very smart maneuver, which brings me to my final total of 229 seats for the Republicans and 206 seats for the Democrats. All right, I hope you guys liked this video. Tell me what I got wrong, because I genuinely do want to learn. It's healthy to learn, and I want to improve my elections. I want to improve my analysis, guys. So if I got something wrong, please tell me. I do want to know, and I do appreciate the support and the education. But guys, please leave a comment below if you agree with my prediction. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out, guys.